So here we are inside Matty's shed, and he has quite the contraption right here. This is something he's been wanting to do for a little while now, and he's finally committing to doing it. This is a beautifully flat black spray painted bike. Like, honestly, this is one of the best paint jobs I've seen in a long time.
Dude, the flat black is a nice color.
Awesome. Like,
this was the cheapest flat black paint I could get. It was $2.60 for the can. It was one can of flat black paint did this whole entire bike.
The quality's insane. Like, I can see right here, that's just sticker stuff that's underneath.
That was just sticker residue. Yeah, I couldn't get them off.
But like, if you look at this,
like the actual
crank arm, well, how about that crank arm? Like, and where that meets the sprocket is amazing. So if any of you are interested in trying to paint your bike flat black, this is the color you want to do.
It was like barely even like a brand name can. It was like one of the ones where you find underneath everything. And I was like, $2? Yeah, I'll take 3.
That's making a legit base right there. So why don't we talk about what your game plan is? So you're doing some art. That's what it comes down to, right?
We are about to pendulum paint a BMX bike. And a pendulum painting is basically when you hang paint from a string and then you let it swing so that it then uses the Earth's centrifugal force to paint something that's underneath it. And it causes these like perfect lines and everything and creates a pattern. And I saw it scrolling social media and I was like, wow, I wonder if I could paint a bike like that. So I've been thinking about doing it for a while. I hope that somebody else had this idea, because we are going to see if it works to paint a bike with pendulum painting.
So now you're doing one side of it? Like, how does this work?
I did buy 2 colors.
So are you thinking about doing one side one color and the other side another color? That would be kind of cool too.
I kind of thought if we did both colors, both sides, but different angles. So one would almost be like
that could work too, yeah. That could work too.
Up and down, and one would be a side to side.
Okay.
Because generally when you swing this, it does more of an oval fashion. It never does like a perfect circle, ever. I've tried it. It would take a lot. Okay. So it would do more of an oval. So if we did an oval this way and an oval this way, and I got royal blue and sunburst yellow, and I figured those are really going to stand out on like all black. I thought that would look
I think that would make sense. It's
but
almost a shame that there's something going over the top of this flat black right now. It's so nice.
Now that I know the can of paint we need, we can just flat black.
Oh, I love it, man. That thing is so sick.
You bring the titanium.
This is one of the cool. Dude. Like, that bike is so sick. I am such a fan.
Flat black.
But it's just so clean. It's like the best flat black I've ever seen. I love how I'm showing it off again. That's how impressed I am with it.
This is literally just the base built so that we can put other color paints on it.
Yeah, well, either or, I guess we're going to get this going soon, right? We'll set it up. We'll kind of tell everybody what we're doing.
Yeah, I was only able to do like slight testers, so I didn't want to like ruin the surprise of me screwing things up.
Okay.
So before we put the bike down,
sounds like something you do.
I need to put a decent amount of paint in, because I drilled the holes in 2 different canisters, but you need a good amount of paint to apply pressure so that it actually pours through. You can't just put a little bit of paint. There's no force that forces it through. So we're going to pour a bunch of paint in there and then see if we could...
Does it like start right away, pretty much?
Yeah, but I have a piece of duct tape on the bottom. So basically you pull it off and like would just put your finger over it.
Oh, wow.
And then let it go.
This is going to get messy.
I'm also going to show you how it works, and we're going to try and pick the best way to do this.
Okay. This is going to be interesting.
So what I was using to emulate was a 2.5-pound weight.
Why is that? For the
because
weight of the paint?
Yeah, it's not going to be 2.5 pounds, but you need at least a little bit of weight to get this thing to move properly.
But you're able to kind of hold it and adjust it a little bit too, right?
By the way, just in case you guys were wondering.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
Very high quality flat black paint.
$2.60. The best paint I've ever seen. It's insane.
Alright, let's just say, I don't want to get the weight nasty. Alright, let's just show you.
So we got 2.5 pounds in there.
Alright. So, might went back up.
Oh, it's coming that far, huh?
Well,
okay.
So picture the bike long-wise or whatever.
Okay.
You kind of need to swing it in this motion.
Wow, there's gonna be paint everywhere, guys.
That's why
this is gonna be complete mayhem.
But you need it to do like the right amount of time.
Well, I hope you figured this out. You've been in the shed for a while by yourself, so there's nothing else we can do besides do this.
All right, let's try putting.
All right, we're gonna set up, guys, and then we'll show you what happens.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so far, I feel like we have a I think you should change the bike a little bit.
Well, we can't change it now. We've already committed. Now it's all part of the artwork.
I mean, it's not terrible, but it's
it's not. I think it's gonna wind in. It might be cool.
It might. Yeah, this is interesting.
It's kind of cool though.
It definitely is pretty cool. So,
dude, we hit the big parts though, like the sprocket, the front wheel, and the handlebars.
That is true.
We didn't do a bad job.
It's really not bad. I think there could have been a little bit more towards the bottom part of the tires.
Because now the sprocket looks sick though.
Now it's going to focus into the center of the bike. The handlebars are getting a lot of action. A whole lot of action. But the frame, eventually... Oh, the frame's finally getting some yellow there. I think you should let it go for a little bit.
I'm going to go, but I don't want to
look
settle.
at these awesome lines that are showing up on that frame. That's kind of cool. Alright, this is going to get good.
The paint's like gripping really well too, right?
Nice looking.
Like layering on. I got nervous it was going to drip.
Here we go. So I think you should let it run for a little bit, Matt, until you'll know. You're going to get in there at a good time, but... It looks pretty legit still.
Dude, the art under it looks sick too, huh?
Here we go. It's starting to tighten up a little bit. It still looks good on there. Like, it still is going on the frame nice. And the lines are getting pretty cool. Like, you see those gathering on
dude,
that.
it looks so sick.
It really does look cool.
Even the chain got action. There's like lines on the chain.
There really is. The chain does actually have a really good look to it. Dang.
Look how cool it looks underneath.
So right here, you can see like that part is getting a decent amount right there. Not the end of the world though, but I think you should still do it. I think we should keep on going. I think we should kind of let it run its course for the most part.
Wow, I'm impressed right now.
Yeah, it looks good. It definitely looks good.
Better than you thought it was gonna look?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I figured it would look pretty cool. Just didn't know how the execution would be fully. But yeah, I'm definitely pretty psyched on it. Right, the blue is officially going on. I see it. It's got a decent line on it. I'll show you guys a little bit closer where it's actually going on. So it's going to be really important. Like that.
The sprocket's getting a lot of action now.
Watch this. We're trying to get this frame right here. And we're definitely getting some that's crisscrossing over that big yellow spot that's right there, which is very
pretty cool.
The handlebars are the best looking thing that's on here for sure. They look insane.
And the sprocket got a lot of love.
Sprocket looks good too.
Sprocket's on right now.
So we're running out of speed right now, so Matty is about to put a stop to it, but I figured I would give you guys an aerial look of what the design looks like while he does that. And I think that the handlebar is the coolest part for sure. Like just that shot right there alone is just, it's insane. It really is. That is nuts. What a cool project. So now we're going to move on to doing the other side. Figured I would show you this. I have the small camera right now. Matty had this great idea. This fantastic idea. Oh, I'm just going to hang the paint up here while I get everything out of the way. Okay, fine. So I'm standing there. Everything's good. Matty had his phone up on top, right where that hook was. It was starting to fall, so Matty just ripped it off and ripped the whole thing down. Now my Vans are covered in blue. Now my hand is covered in blue. My leg is covered in blue. My wife is gonna kill me. These are my good shoes. He's loving it though. He thinks this is great. Don't worry, the bike didn't get harmed at all. It's exactly how it was. What a mess.
What happened?
All right, got majority of the blue off of me. I don't look like I'm in the Blue Man Group anymore.
I'm blue, but it's green on the top.
That is not the lyrics.
But it sounds like it should be.
All right, come on. Back to it. He's going to flip the bike right now, and we don't know how this is going to work. We are switching up the angle right now. Everything is sticking everywhere, and he barely has a piece of plastic that's underneath that holding it up. It looks crazy. Like really, really crazy. He's sticking on everything now.
I'll just go barefoot in about 3 seconds.
It's up to you.
It's getting outrageous at this point.
So we started with the blue since it was already in the can. So this time around, we did things a little bit differently. Matty decided to mess with a different rotation to see if he can get some different lines, but we didn't like the placement of it, so we switched it up and we actually swung it again. This time around, we got really good coverage on top of the frame, and you could see those blue lines that are going on it. I kind of wish that he only did the blue, because it looks that good. It's time to fill the yellow back up. This has been quite the process. Now our feet are getting stuck and it's insane. So now I'm standing on this shirt over here right now.
It's like glue inside of this paint.
It's wild. So we started putting the yellow on, and this time around it was a lot easier than doing the other side of the bike. So Matty was pretty much a professional at this point, and we'll show you guys how it turned out. We got a ton of action on that one. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be done.
Wow.
That one's good.
That was perfect.
All right, let's see if he can safely get out of here. We're going to let this thing dry, and then next we're going to do the big unveiling out in the sun, and you guys can check this thing out. And Matty can finally not have his feet get stuck. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Here we go. We're going to take this thing out in a second. So here's the final look of this bike, and things are looking pretty insane. Now, when I look at this bike, the part that I get super excited about is like this back end. And I think it's because the lines are so scarce. I think that does a really good job of making it look really random and cool. Now, once you get in the center where it would just keep on overlapping itself, it does look cool that way, but it's kind of weird how it always sticks to that spot. Like, it's not anywhere else. It's like that aggressive. So it kind of looks a little concentrated and a little distracting in my opinion. So if I was to do this on my own, and if I did it again, I would stop it from making the really, really tight lines and try to keep it spread out, kind of like how that head tube is, because that looks insane. Now, like I said earlier, the handlebars were my favorite ones. I thought that looked the best because it's just so sporadic. There's just so many cool lines on it. Looks really, really good. Now onto the wheels. This front wheel, it does have some lines on it, but there's not too many of it, and I think it does a pretty good job of looking good still. I think it still is a really good looking design. Now the sprocket and the crank did a really good job as well. I like how it's nice and splattered on that. It's definitely got a busy look to it, but look at those yellow lines. It just has like almost like a mosaic pattern to it, which is really, really cool. But the back wheel looks great. I think that thing looks amazing, and I am super impressed with the way this thing turned out. But that was only one side of it, so I figured we'd show you guys this one, and we'll see which side you guys think looks better. Now the wheels got a ton of action right here.
Sick on this side.
Yeah, look at the wheel in the front. This thing got a ton of action compared to any of the previous other sides of the wheels that we looked at. It looks really, really cool. Now there's a lot of long aggressive lines on this frame. I think this frame looks a lot better than the other side. And this is the second time around where we kind of stopped it and reset it up to try to achieve that look. Now this actually has the back of the handlebars because the handlebars were flipped over. I think it looks really good. This side has, not too much of it, and that side has a ton of it. But what's really cool about this bike is how even it is across the frame. That is a big difference compared to the other side. Now, if you look at the back end of the bike where the tires and the wheels are, it looks really good. I think there's a good amount on it where it's not too distracting and not enough where you're just completely focusing on it. But all in all, this was a really cool project. And if I had to pick a side, if one side had to win, I'm going to say it's this right side the second time around. I think it's because you learned a lot about doing it, and it just turned out way better, way more consistent, and it just has a wild look on it. So congrats to Matty for coming up with this and committing to this and making this thing happen, because it looks really, really cool. So if any of you are interested in getting your bike painted like this, just hit Matty up on Instagram and he will get it done for you.
If you guys want us to paint a bike in any other way that you think would be creative, let us know, because now that we got this flat black paint that apparently just takes away everything, we can do a quick delete.
Listen, I'm really impressed with your paint job here, but I was obsessed with that flat black color right there. I'm about to go get my Thai bike and start getting to work on it, man. But yeah, all in all, this is a very loud, cool looking bike, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.